coming to you today to show you how to put a photo or how to put a video inside a photo in Photoshop. So what you do first is you get a stock photo. I think I bought this somewhere or I got it for free somewhere. Anyway, you get a stock photo that you want to use to put your video inside. And you create a video. I used iMovie, which is on Macs for free. And I just dragged all my pictures down and I put transitions in between each picture. These are just some of my favorite. This is for a promo for my adventures photography blog. And here's an example of what it looks like. I wasn't so worried about the orientation of the image, whether it was portrait or landscape, because I knew my picture was going to be portrait, so I wasn't going to sit there and worry so much about cropping and such. For your purposes, you may want to think about it in terms of whether you want your image that way. And then I did in iMovie, I saved it to my hard drive, and I went back to my hard drive where I had the video in my Faves folder, and there it is. There's the video I did in iMovie. I'm going to drag it into Photoshop, and I already have it there. Here it is. You see it says video layer. So go back to your image, your stock photo that you want to put your video in, and you see I've already done this just to make sure it worked. And first off, you're going to crop it. I crop mine because I'm putting it on Instagram mainly. So I wanted to go ahead and have it square. It's just for my purposes. You could do it however you want. If you wanted to do a 2x3 photo, I pressed C on my keyboard, or the crop tool. Next thing I did is the rectangle tool. And I'm going to create a rectangle where I want my video to go. I'm going to create a clipping mask. And if you don't know what a clipping mask is, it's something you easily Google. It's going to be where my video is going to clip to, and so it's not showing on the whole image, just that one area. And I'm just resizing it currently for my space to make sure I get it right and it looks natural. And there you go. That took... Sorry, y'all. Train went by. That took a whole minute or so to do. So I go back to my video on my Photoshop, just open up in the other tab. And I'm going to drag it. I'm going to press the V tool, or press V on my keyboard, or is also the move tool right there. And all I do is drag it to that first tab. But whoops, my video is too small for my space. And for the sake of, I don't want to lose the quality of my video. You never want to make it bigger than it is. So I'm just going to resize my image. It's currently at around 3,500 pixels. I'm just going to make it 2,500, which is still plenty enough quality to make it a good size image for sharing, so I don't degrade any of the image or any of the video. So I go back to my tab and I just drag my video in, and I put it around about where it's supposed to go. Then I'm going to hover my mouse between my two layers. I have my rectangle layer and my video layer, and I press Option on my keyboard, which is also, I think, the Alt button on a PC, but on Mac is Option. And you just hover and you click right there. You see my little mouse right there, and I clip it. You see how it takes the shape of that rectangle. And for the sake of this, I'm not going to change the dimensions of the video. I'm just going to move it around so it works out roundabout way. But you may want to mess around with it, because if you're doing people and stuff, you might want to not cut their heads off. So just think about that. Then I go to my timeline tab in Photoshop. It usually pops up in when you have a video, and I create video timeline. Just click it. And voila, there's my video layer, there's my rectangle layer. But oh no, when I run out of rectangle layer, it just stops playing. So what you need to do is you get your rectangle layer, which is purple layer, and just drag it all the way to the end of your video. And there you have it. And just to watch it, I press spacebar to get to stop and go. Just something you may not notice. And look, my video is working inside my frame. I also thought about adding a song because I just wanted it to have a little bit more to it. So you can go to add audio. I have an audio already downloaded in my downloads folder. I got royalty free. Oops, sorry, BuzzFeed. I went to Bend Sound, and you just click on, well, you can't click, but it goes Bend Sound as royalty free music, and I just downloaded one, and I drag it in, or double click it in, but it's obviously too long for the clip. My clip's probably 30 seconds long, whereas my music is probably 2.5 to 3 minutes long. So I'm going to make my viewer a little smaller so I don't have to drag that out too much. And I'm just going to trim it to the video length. And then I'm going to fade it out at the end so it doesn't sound quite so abrupt at the end. And I apologize you can't hear it because I'm recording audio after the fact, but it does sound lovely. And then when you're done, you go to these little lines over on the corner of your timeline tab, click it, and click render video. For your sake, you're just going to change your video name to whatever you want it to be. I think I'm going to do Insta2 since I already have Insta saved. And you're going to click the folder right here that you want to save it. It's going to go into my Faves folder that I was just in earlier. And make sure you have it on Adobe Media Encoder and the H24 whatever. I don't know what it means, but that's the one I found out works the best and is easiest to do, and I just did high quality. And then you render once you don't mess with anything else. And it's going to take maybe a couple minutes. I'm not sure. I walked away when mine was doing this, so for the sake of this video, we're not going to sit here and watch it do it. I've already done this before. So render it. And then I'm going to go to my file and open it up and let's test it out. And here we go. And of course, again, I apologize you can't hear the sound, but it works. I promise I hear the sound. It works. And I'm not so worried about the black lines on the edge of the video because it's going to be cropped off in Instagram anyway, so that's not a big deal. And then all I do is I open up a new Finder window, and I'm just going to airdrop it to my iPhone. Since I'm strictly an Apple person, all I have to do is have it pop up and just drag and drop. So you see my iMac comes up in my iPhone because they're both in proximity to where I am. And you just drag it to the appropriate icon, and then it goes to your Instagram.